And here's the thing, like that's like my end game. You know, when I talk about this unity, the end game is for the purposes of Christ. Because race relations, when you have such a divide there, the gospel suffers. And people don't realize that.
Right. I agree with that.
That's my main concern. That's my main motivation. That's why it means so much to me to unite us. You know what I'm saying? So that's why people are like, okay, well, why don't you attack the white stuff? Why don't you attack the white stuff? I say it all the time, yo. The black situation that I'm talking about has a face. It's in my face all the time. Today, I'm dealing with where I am. I need to help white people understand that they have to deal with where they are, so that when we finally do come together, if you have a relationship with me as a black man, you're going to be able to understand through our rhetoric and our conversation of what to handle where you're at. I handle where I'm at, you handle where you're at, and then we come together and make this thing move better. And that's kind of the end game for me. Integration. Black people, and I said this, and I'm going to keep it short. I won't go further than this. A lot of black people can't admit that they scared of white people. Because to be honest, we were taught that. I know we were taught that. People don't have to admit to it, but I know that we were taught that. White man kill you. White man bad. So we fear it. And
I think
deep down inside.
I think blacks and whites fear each other for two different reasons.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a lot of fear on both sides.
There is.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
We fear their structural systemic power.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And they fear our I want to make sure I'm choosing these words correctly. They fear the stigmas that they've seen about us as individuals.
Yeah, because like even at my job, I had an issue at my job because I was seen as aggressive, and they tried to tell corporate I was intimidating the staff when all I was doing was speaking.
Wow.
And y'all know me. I don't really raise my voice like that.
Right.
So I wasn't barking on nobody.
Right.
I just made my point felt. And people felt like I was intimidating the staff. Yet my white female coworker was cursing everybody out. And nobody was afraid.
Wow.
Everybody was good. Oh, she's just upset.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even show you that I was upset. I just said,
yeah,
yo, that's not going to happen again.
Nah, man, the stigma is real, man. Like being a person that lives where I'm at and just have a lot of family around, you get a lot of like random questions. Just the stigma, like, yo, so like when you live over there and this happens and when that, you're like, it's just like Josh, Paul's saying, the stigma is super real.
Josh, you ever get the I call them like the Nicodemus moments where like black people come to you and ask you questions about white people, like, so do y'all, like, we cool, right? So you ain't gonna take this no way. Do you ever get them type of conversations?
Yeah, sometimes.
That's interesting, because I get them.
Yeah.
People feel like I'm approachable, so they ask me things they wouldn't ask other black people. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So Josh, what's your biggest, I was gonna ask Josh, what's your biggest hurdle being in an interracial marriage as a white man?
I think the perception sometimes from the black male of like me raising a black boy,
right?
What you know about raising our black men or black boys, or what you know about raising someone, just that whole thing. Like, how do you like almost like they feel like they can handle a black woman better than I can, what you doing, this queen, and you don't know how to handle this.
They should ask the 50% plus that's missing what they know about it.
No, that's a fact. No, like
I was gonna say that, but
I'd be ready with those statements sometimes. And I wish I could say them sometimes and be
like, right.
Like boom.
Because coming from you, it'd be like, what happened? But that's what I was thinking. Like, so it's like, oh, okay, so you feel like a woman could raise a black man better than another man.
Regardless of culture or whatever. But yeah, boss, to answer your question, man, like I feel like that's probably one of the pushback that I see sometimes. Like there's some, of course, that don't see that, but there's some that you see the looks, you hear the comments. Right. My wife definitely hears comments sometimes. You know what I mean? But there's probably other ones that maybe I'm not as paying attention to. That's one that comes to mind.
Right.
Yo, like Voss, you said it earlier. I think it was yesterday, and I don't know why I got off of this because I used to be on this for years. Dr. King said, "Judge me not by the color of my skin, but the content of my character." If we do that more, that it's happening on all sides because we attacked a lot of what's going on within the Black community and blah blah blah. But like I shared with y'all in the chat before, like people have literally come to me like, "Oh yeah, man, man, because I bought that LL Cool J in the trunk, man." It's just like, what you
LL Cool J in the trunk?
Yeah, like so you got to tell me you bought LL Cool J out of your trunk because I'm Black. You know what I mean? A Black guy has to assume that Josh,
me big LA.
A Black man has to assume that Josh can't take care of a son, a Black son, because he's white. All of these assumptions that's not dealing with the content of one's character, but rather the color of their skin.
Right.
How bad?
Right.
We do it all the time.
I don't hear the ancestors anywhere. I went to grab a couple quotes from a couple people for a live broadcast I was doing, and I just started reading different ones, what they said about morality, integrity, hard work, culture, treating women, and I'm like, I don't hear any of Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X, Carter G. I don't hear any of these voices, the spirit of what they were on in the voices of today that are claiming that they stood for civil rights. I just don't hear it.
Right.
It's just too many personalities in the conversation. You know what I mean? So not too many people are going to be honest with themselves or anyone else for that matter. So,
yo, Rigz,
pessimistic. What?
Oh, I wanted to say this, man. I think that before we get off, I think everybody should give a 30-second final thought.
Nah.
What's that face you
make?
making?
I was saying, right? No, I'm playing.
No.
Dismissed.
All right, so this would be my final thought, right?
Okay.
I mean, we got way more than 30 seconds. We got some time, but all right, so it's not my final thought yet. But I feel like it might be pessimistic. I don't feel like it's gonna get better. And I think the Bible tells me that. It's just only gonna get progressively worse. I think history tells me that.
Yeah.
So where I fall in these conversations might be like I'll notice something. I might even empathize with something. But this is where individualism comes in for me. You know, like we're not gonna save the race, and we're not gonna get all the Americans to come together and be one, and we're not gonna get all the churches to come together and be one. So get with who you get with and do what y'all can do and be power in numbers in your corner of the world. Even with the internet, I mean, in your corner of the world, and just do what you do, because if you sit there and keep trying to save the world, you're fighting a losing battle.
Right.
In my opinion, just, you know what I mean? The Lord is coming and he's going to find it in a certain condition, the way he's going to burn it all down. So that tells me it's not going to get better. But what it tells me is I want to be on the right side of the future.
Right.
That's how I feel.
You know what? I look at Dr. King, right? He's like my example in the social carnal way of kind of looking at this issue, if you will. And carnal, I don't mean negatively. I just mean like dealing it in the world. He gave everything to the point where it literally cost him his life, just so that a white man and a black man can hold hands together. And
I don't think that's what cost him his life, yo. I think when his narrative changed, that's what cost him his life. When he started talking about black banking and money and economics, after talking about his dream was a nightmare, I think that's what cost him his life.
And they only play us the dream speech.
Right. I'd never heard the nightmare speech until like 3 years ago.
Right. But the thing is, for me at least, his overall rhetoric, I almost feel like this. I feel like he was kind of feeling like how you feeling right now. He began to realize some things. But I always say, how old was he when he died? 36?
So, like 39, I think, something like that.
Okay, something like that.
Wow.
Yeah, but just young, right?
But like him and Malcolm were like going towards the middle. I feel like, you know what I'm saying.
Yep.
But what I'm saying is how passionate he was in his rhetoric for a long time.
But they let him live.
He could have gotten back there. I see that as him getting wary, in a sense.
Nah, I feel like he was getting wise to the time. You know what I'm saying? Like he was seeing, all right, they're letting me speak because they ain't shut him down. He could have been shut down before, but it was like, all right.
Could he?
To some degree.
They worked on shutting down though.
You know what I'm saying? When he start talking money, it's like, all right, we got to get this guy up out of here. Because before that, he was doing all his speeches. He was having 1 million people listen to him speak. There was no interference. As soon as he starts talking about, he was talking about boycotting. Yeah, Stan, listen, I say this now. Yeah, boycott if you want. You stand right here and boycott all you want. You can sit here and do that. You can go over here and march all you want. That's all good. Or you trying to touch our money?
Right.
You out of here.